Hello, my name is Peyton Clancy Fairbanks, Cornerstone Real Estate. This video is going to be a little less scripted than a lot of the other ones. Next week we'll kind of get back to that other format. But I just wanted to blabber at you today. I wanted to go over some of the things that I'm seeing in the market and give you just kind of a general overview. So, one, what is going on in the market? Let's reiterate some of the stats I've blabbered about in the past. The median sold value back in May was $540,000, and that was the peak of it. The median sold value for the month of September was $490,000. So we've had about a 10% price decrease here in the state of Utah. Currently in October, it's about $495,000, which is great to see. That information is not complete or full, but it's great to see that the median sold value hasn't kept decreasing so quickly. But your question is, why are these values going down? What's causing them to be pushed down? It's mainly three things. One, active listings have risen all the way up to 10,250, which is the most we've seen in years for sure. Two, interest rates are all the way up to 6.9%. As long as interest rates keep going up, the home values that you see are not going to be stable. Just something to be very aware of. And then lastly, it's the fear of the market. You say, Peyton, why are people scared of the market? Well, let's look at why. Some of the recent news articles: soaring mortgage interest rates slow home sales in Utah. New Utah housing data: home sales fall while days on market jump. So people are seeing these things and they're like, oh my goodness, everything's crashing. Market values decreased by 10%, blah, 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 blah. What you have to really understand with all of this going in the future, we've seen all of this before. Looking back at 2008, one of the higher points was $214,000 median sold value. And it went all the way down to $170,000, or a market decrease of about 25%. So we could keep seeing that here. But during that entire time, it wasn't like the market decreased to $170,000 overnight or in a lineal fashion. It went down from 214 to 203 to 210, down to 195, up to 200. It was a slow progression of things, and it was something where if you bought at any time during that recession, at this moment in time, you'd be doing really well over more than 10 years, let's say. Why do you think people were selling back then? Well, it was because of the housing bust where people weren't able to afford their mortgages, but it was also a mixture of fear. What were they saying back then? U.S. housing collapse spreads overseas by the New York Times. Who saw the housing bubble coming? By Forbes. Both those were articles written in 2008 and were obviously news cycles trying to cash in on the fact that everybody was scared and then also feed them being scared. But the truth of it is, if you were able to buy a house during that time and you were able to be comfortable with your payments, be comfortable with the amount of money that you have in reserves, you would have been successful in your real estate career over a 10-year time. And that's what you should be looking for, especially at this moment in time, is finding those deals and finding homes that you can keep for 10 years, whether that's because they cash flow, whether it's because you love them a whole lot or anything like that. I wanted to get on today and just blabber a little bit. One, because I'm going to be sending next week's video in and they're going to do professional editing and hopefully be better than me blabbering about nothing and doing paid and stuff. But also, two, I wanted to just blabber today to try to get this out there to help you understand where I'm perceiving things. We currently bought a flip house. We're going to probably make a profit on it, even if we spend $120,000 on it. But that's because we managed our expectations. We had cash in reserve to make sure we could pay for that and also pay for the things that we're doing in our life and everything like that. So going into the future, if you're scared to buy a home, there will be better times or lower prices in the future. I can almost guarantee that. We've still got years of people trying to figure out what's going on in the market and leveling stuff out. If you're trying to buy a home and you're deciding if you should buy now or wait, the real question is when is the bottom going to come? Could be next month, could be 2 years from now, could be 3 years and 7 months from now. People just don't know. And so if you wait until that time, whenever it is, you could possibly be missing out on opportunity. Now, you could also be making it so that you're very lucky in the house that you bought and you bought it right at the exact right time and you did everything perfect. That absolutely could happen as well, but it's not super likely. So in this moment of everybody being scared, focus on if you actually do want to get into a house, why you want to get into that house, and then once you make those decisions, put in the effort to have at least some form of a good down payment Even if it can't be 10%, 3% will make it so you have more options with your lending, and then also more options with the way that you negotiate with the sellers. So if you're wanting to get into a home using an FHA, Utah Housing, or a USDA loan, it's very possible right now. But because of the high interest rates, because it's going to be costing you extra money to get those loans, it may not be a good time to do that, because you're going to be going into debt and not having that extra cash on hand to be able to afford the possible expenses you're going to be having in the future. So having cash right now provides you a lot of opportunity. If you don't have cash right now, you should really be saving, and if you want to get into the real estate market, saving that cash and then using it in the future in a way that you can have a down payment or have reserves in your account. So that's all I got for you today. Hope you're all having a great day. Thanks so much, and bye-bye now.